Finally got the Cutlass in the garage, put it up on the lift for the first time. So we're taking a good look at this car, and the odometer says 74,000, and I'm thinking it's possibly original. I've gone over every panel, and there's gold paint on every panel, except maybe for this header panel. You might find it when we strip it down. But I'm going to put it up in the air once, and we'll take a better look at the underside. We're pretty sure that this is not a clone because all the emblems are in the proper locations, and these cars really weren't worth much, so I doubt if many got cloned.
Well, I went through the video and I looked at some of the responses, and some guy said that 442 package had dual mirrors. And we saw other cars that were supposedly numbers matching original cars, and they only had one rear view mirror. You'd think that by 1973, dual mirrors would be pretty important. This one's got the bigger one, and mine has the shorty little opera window. You don't see much, and you need another mirror, or else with all the traffic we have around here now, you're gonna run into somebody. So otherwise, like he was saying, nobody's going to be out there going, oh, I'm going to trick people into thinking I got a 73 442 and it's going to make more money. These cars really never pulled down that much cash, so I doubt if there'd be anybody out there cloning 442s from 1973.
But we went ahead and scraped that VIN pad off up there on the block, and we have an original block. We scraped the VIN pad off on the trans, and there's actually nothing on there, and it doesn't look like it's ever been machined. So it's probably an original trans. I say that because these lines don't look like they've been tampered with whatsoever. This rear end, we have a 273 open. It's a AC code axle, which would be correct for 73. We've not found the date code yet, but I'm pretty sure we have an all original sheet metal and drivetrain car here with low miles.
Yeah, this is typical of the rust that we would have. You know, we're from Wisconsin, and these would fill up with, you know, dirt and sand, all kinds of crap in here, and they didn't drain out. And then this would, everybody, you know, would patch this right here, and then the front of the fender, and then back here. So by the time we got the cars, when you were a younger person, the people before you, they were just getting rid of it. People, when a car made 100,000 miles back in my day, that was a long time to have a vehicle. They didn't travel all that far. And 100,000 miles was already wearing out the engines because they didn't have a lot of nickel in the cast iron, and they wore out. Now you've got engines that have overdrive, and they're burning perfectly clean with fuel injection. They got overdrive. The way we had gearing back in these days, 273 gears, but it was still, you know, the engine's tacking up more and it wears out faster.
We're going to have to do a little bit of patchwork back here, and then again a little bit up by that window.
You can see that the frame's not rusted. And the other one is, this is all
it's gone.
catching water, you know, and it would rust.
Right. These brake lines, it's got the original brake lines on it yet.
With the twisty wire around it.
Yeah. Never been off of it.
These are gonna go. It looks like somebody took a Harley exhaust system and grafted that on there.
Yeah, we're going to take the guts out of our other rear end and put it in this rear end, so this car retains its original axle. I think we're going to step it up to like a 342 gear ratio, somewhere in there. You can see the trunk drops are all nice.
Just the bolts. I mean, look at the threads they're showing. And when you're in Wisconsin, this would be no threads left. And this would be all, you know, you go to put a wrench on there and 3/4 doesn't fit, 11/16 won't fit, and then you're holding on with vice grips. A lot of times you just burn all the old bolts off.
Because that window leaked up there, we do have one small rust hole in the back floor pan. And other than that, I don't think there's any rust on it.
As we drop it down and we go around the glass, you're going to see where some body work was done. Obviously, the seal between the glass and the metal was compromised to let water run down, and then the lowest spot was right there where it rotted out. We're going to gut this totally out, so when we do this welding, you know, nothing's going to catch on fire on the interior.
I pressure washed this as best as I could in the driveway, but the whole underside of this is caked in oil.
It was coming out pretty
It
fast.
seemed like it got worse as we progressed.
So I'm thinking that seal there, this one, or when he changed that fuel pump, he didn't do a good job on that gasket.
Yeah, the power steering pump is leaking also.
But it preserved the metal too. You know, when you got it coated with oil, it can't rust.
I like original, but I like symmetry better, so we are going to add a sport mirror to this side and then convert that other mirror over to a sport mirror.
We didn't check it out very good. There was a panel going across here, and it was like, why don't we get rid of that panel? When we were cleaning out, and all of a sudden I pull it out, and all of a sudden we see this huge hole in the back, and we want to close that up. But you'll see, mine rotted here. A lot of people will have somewhere in this channel where water sits. You can see this seam is supposed to go up to here. Water sits in the channel and drops down, then your trunk usually rusts out. He's got some rust issues here. We'll expose all this, and whatever needs to be done, we'll put new metal in so that we're starting off with a good base. So just looking at it, you see this empty space, and right away he ended up ordering one of these. You're not going to run a license plate, are you?
No, I like it with the stripe going down on the bottom there.
But this will fit in here and it closes that all up. Now, originally, they had these rubber things that fit in here. I like tucked bumpers, narrowed in. He keeps his things stock.
Yeah, I found a plastic replacement for that, so we'll get that. It'll be nice and straight. We're going to eliminate this battery and all this hodgepodge of stuff that was done to this.
I got to show him this thing. Here is a breather canister that goes all the way back from the tank and then lets the tank expand and the gasoline expand and contract, and the fumes are supposed to be sucked into the motor. Why would you, if you're not going to have it functional, why would you have the fumes brought into an area where there's sparks and some spark plug wires and stuff? You should have just had the tube dangling out the back if you don't care about emissions. But it doesn't work like this. It's stupid. And he wants to get all the stickers off and the MSD box off, battery out, so it looks just like stock.
Hood has zero rust on it underneath here. If you remember the other hood we did, ended up having metal work and bonded done to it. So we're not going to butcher this perfect hood by
Modifying it.
yeah, we're not going to cut a hole in it and make it actually functional. I'll have to add this engine to my engine collection. Sneak it in when they're not looking. I was actually hoping this was not going to be an original engine so I could just throw it out.
All the small ones, they're okay, but to get this big car going, you need a big engine. It needs a lot of torque, and the other one really launches the car well. So after you've had that, it's kind of hard to settle for a 350 after you're used to the 455.
This taillight bezel's stoved in, so we got another one of those coming. A replacement piece of chrome. Should be a pretty slick looking car when it's all done.
I'd paint it some modern color. I know you like stock stuff, but that gold does not turn me on.
Yeah, I don't think I like the gold either. I mean, it might not be bad. The interior was worked over with some really ugly fabric. So I think we're just going to switch it all to black, and then we'll be able to paint the car whatever color we want. We'll keep most of that stuff in a box to be sold with the car. It's all nice and solid up here. No sunroof hole. I'm working on taking this extra battery out right now. A little overwhelming starting a project like this. It's like you don't even know where to begin. They had it hooked up to an ignition wire inside the car. You can see right where the canister is supposed to go. Wish we had the clamp for that. Here's the lead for the MSD box. It was laying right on the exhaust. Luckily we made it back. We're going to commence dismantling. Thanks for watching.